Good afternoon. Okay, so I've learned my lesson. You can't walk away from a channel for 8 months, expect anybody to come back when you return. Okay, I seem to be doing this for myself, but that's okay. I'm going to keep doing it because I need to practice, and that's what's most important of all. What we are doing here is I'm telling you that the things I've been working on for the last 8 months. I gave you part 1, the last video, and this is going to be part 2 of the things that not only I am working on and my own personal program I've created for myself, but the things you should be working on in your own way, in your own program for yourself also. Okay, I'm just an example. I'm a sampling of what the types of things we can create for ourselves. The most important things here is what we're discussing on these last 2 videos of what we need to start moving on as we divorce ourselves from the old world and begin to step into the new world, okay? Okay, we live in an inverted reality. Everything we think of as important in this 3D reality, things like winning, money, success, fame, power, all these types of things that we consider the things worth going after and achievement, even achievement and success, are the most important things in this world. Generally speaking, that everybody strives to define themselves by, okay? And I'm here to tell you that this is an inverted world. What is most important are things like love, turning inward, developing ourselves into our divine beings, understanding that we're much, much bigger than what we realize here in this 3D world, and getting out there and chasing these things as a solution to the small self reality that we are experiencing now. And we think the solution is chasing the things I've just mentioned. You think, look at people in movies, just because it's most visible. Their whole life really is the roles they've played in movies. You know what I mean? And the accolades and how they were the #1 star or they were a big star on these roles that they've played. And you know, it's at the end of their life they look back and their whole life was the roles they've played in the movies, and how they received all the glory from the fame that they've achieved in the roles that they've played all along. They would hit dry spots and then they would have a comeback. All these things that were involved in this world, and I'm telling you, it's an inverted reality. The most important things are the small things, the sense of our own divinity, the sense of love that we begin to express and find within ourselves, the sense of stillness and silence that we develop. The appreciation we have for the simple things in this life. These are the things that we have to start stepping toward. The realization of the preciousness of our love for one another that we experience and cultivate. Okay, and the things that we do are not unimportant, but they just take a back seat to the things that are really important, which is our growth, our spiritual refinement toward the beauty, and realize that we don't have to prove ourselves through the things that we do or the power and money and fame and success and the status and the prestige that all these things draw toward us, that we all crave so much, winning, we all crave so much, as an antidote to the small self we experience in this 3D reality. Okay, we must cultivate this inner stillness, inner silence. I have this mantra: inner peace, inner joy, inner stillness, inner silence, inner spaciousness, inner freedom, inner sun. Inner peace, inner joy, inner stillness, inner silence, inner spaciousness, inner freedom, inner sun. Okay, these are the things. This is one of the mantras I came up with in service to this new deeper self I'm cultivating, and we must turn off. We can't get too distracted by this outer world, things in this world. We turn inward, and we start to reimagine and enliven ourselves through this inner gaze, and all the commercial world out there, the TVs and the big spectacles. The World Cup, which just came and gone, which I did watch some of. I enjoyed it. I'm not going to lie to you. But all these spectacles, in the outer sense, must be turned away from. Our whole culture, our whole commercialism, seems to be intent on keeping us focused on one event after the other, one movie after, the commercialism, everything pulls us away from developing our own intuition, our own inner life, our inner instincts, all these things that we must turn back to, because they are the most important things, really. Cultivating stillness and silence. As we begin to do that, the commercial world is a din indeed, a loud din indeed, and we do not want that loudness in our lives anymore, as we begin to turn back to nature and stillness and silence. I've been working on speaking more my truth, no matter what the consequences, and not worrying about if it makes people feel uncomfortable. Speaking my truth with authenticity and heart resonance. Okay, that's what I've been working on in conversations. I slow my conversational rhythms down, and I begin to speak authentically. And speak my truth. Be the person that I always was supposed to be, and not run from. I had this feeling when I was 18 of running. I remember it, palpably. I'm running, constantly running. That's what I was running from. Being my authentic self, speaking my authentic truth in the face of the onslaught of the peer pressure that we are all faced with at that age. I kind of lost myself in that sense. I wanted to be liked. I wanted to fit in. I wanted to not be alone, and so I repressed my real authentic self in favor of wanting to be liked by those around me. Okay. Now, when you speak your truth, if you speak it with heart resonance, you can really get away with murder. That's what I didn't know how to do. I thought that if I speak my truth all the time, all hell's going to break loose, because I would have done it in a boisterous or challenging, and there's nothing wrong with being challenging, but in a way that would exacerbate the friction that speaking our truth sometimes is going to cause. But if we do it in the softness and coming from the stillness and the silence, we can do it with these new tools, with the tools of love and light, as we become love-based, heart-centered beings of light. We use the tools of love and light to express ourselves, and that is going to produce a different result. Not quite the result if we come across a mind-oriented egoism and speaking our truth that way, which can be more trouble than we would like to have. Okay, we must learn to reclaim our sense of personal innocence. Okay, we lose our sense of innocence as we get involved in this world and the things we end up doing in a lot of different arenas. We tend to lose our sense of personal innocence, and that drops our vibrational frequency. Regaining our innocence and allowing the other people around us their innocence, even though they may not be acting so innocent, allowing them their innocence is very key to start bringing our vibrational frequency up, seeing ourselves as an innocent child of God. And one of the things I say, I declare before you all, I am an innocent child of God. And I am moving toward my love-based, heart-centered being of light. With every breath I take, I am activating, enlivening the idea of being a heart-centered being of light, innocent child of God, and dropping the egoic ways, small self ways that we have been living and promoting our whole life. Okay, as we develop heart resonance and we develop love, the mists of fear are dissolved by this power of the heart resonance and the divinity that exists within the heart. Okay, we start to dissolve the mists of fear that seem to be hanging everywhere, and it is really noticeable that we can dissolve fear with love. Basically, that's what we're doing, and it takes us a while. We be loving as much as we can from wherever we're at, but eventually we're going to start tapping into the body of love that is within us and without us, and will be that's an energy of by itself, and it has a magic of its own as we begin to live this new love. We can't do our way out of the troubles that we have in this lower vibrational consciousness. The solution of sitting here in a boring, humdrum, mundane life is to do our way out of it. We imagine, gee, if I was only a rock star, if I was only on stage, or I was only getting a medal or a freedom or a this or a that, an Oscar, because I have some achievement, I would be better than I am now. And it provides, in a certain sense, provides a short-term fix. But you're not going to do your way out of a lower vibrational state or lower vibrational consciousness. You have to be. You have to learn how to be in the areas that I've been discussing. Beingness is more important than doingness. In this inverted reality we live, doingness, really, an achievement, is more important than beingness. Christ was a beer. What gave Christ his power, Buddha, any of those, is they learned how to be. Their very beingness is the power, okay? Because it's a representative of an aspect of God at that point. And and beingness is where the power is, and that's where the change comes from. Increased in beingness as we begin to filter away and drop all that we have become that isn't ours and never was us. But we're infiltrated by the social conscious illusion complex, the social illusion complex that had been defining our lives and our adherence to it up until then. Okay, so we're not going to do our way out of unsatisfactory state of consciousness. Once again, my state of consciousness was intolerable and unacceptable, and we're not going to do our way out of. I thought if I was a chef in a kitchen with accolades and a Michelin star and all that stuff, then I would be who I want to be. No, it does not work. It does not work at all. You just, when it gets done, you're the same person you were, and you've achieved nothing as far as beingness is concerned. Okay, as I've become more lighter, as my consciousness and my vibration has increased, what I've noticed is I'm getting more and more aware of the beings that I'm connected to in the other realms all around me. We all have many people, many beings assisting us, ready, wanting to help us, waiting for us to give the okay and to accept that they're here and that we love them, and they love us in ways that we can't fathom in this three-dimensional world. They love us deeply, And God himself, a guru, once said that God loves you 1,000 times more than your parents love you, than your mother and father, than your mother especially loves you 1,000 times more. Can you believe that? That's how deeply we are loved. So as I'm beginning to bring myself up with all these ways I've been telling, both part 1 and part 2, we begin to become more aware of all the beings around us and that we are never alone. We have these, a lot of, not to mention our soul and higher self, our I am presence, all these things around us, all these beings around us that want to help us and are with us, and we are never really alone. And the last 8 months, the progress I've made, I'm more than ever aware of all the beings around me. And I go out in nature and I talk to them. I speak with them. I tell them what I wish to tell them. I tell Mother Earth, I talk to her. I tell her things that are sensitive and how I wish I could have said them to somebody, and I say them to them. Okay? So this is the part 2 of the things that I've been considering and I've been working on. And I've been bringing alive as I create this, move from this mundane world of effort into this new magical world of beingness, with all these things coming to light I've just discussed on this part 2. Okay, so these are the things that I've been working on, and these are the things that need our attention, and these are the realities. This is the important thing, not the outer world that we think is so important to try to capture and brag about and brush our egos up in the right way, feather our egos more or less, okay? There you go. I am Jeff Africa. I'm a citizen of Earth, loyal patriot of the United States of America, an innocent child of God, and I stand unafraid. And these four, Mother Earth, Divine Mother, Yogananda, and Jeshua, are helping me change my life by changing my consciousness, by becoming a greater divine being through the open heart resonance, awakening that human heart. Remember, Jeshua says that the awakening of a human heart and the living through that heart resonance is an extremely exciting matter. And it is the thing that is most important, not the other things we think here in this 3D world that's slowly falling away and dying. And this is what we need to do as we step into our new reality as a species and as a humanity. Okay, thank you. That's it today. All right, bye.